Hello, everybody. Today I am joined by international superstar Hannah Taylor. Hannah, how are you today?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I am fantastic. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, though. Is this your first time in the States?
Yeah, do I talk into the mic or the camera? Okay, yeah, this is my first time in America. I'm still like quite overwhelmed and I'm obsessed with everyone's accents.
I know. So, what has been the strangest thing you've seen in America besides driving on the other side of the road so far?
Other than Mariah May, I don't know. What have I seen? I don't know. There's like nothing in particular that I've seen that I've been like, that's crazy. Like,
Is there any words that us Americans say that you're like, what is that? Or we pronounce something weird?
you know what? No, if anything, it's the other way around. People can get into me like, what are you saying? What are you saying? And I'm like, oh no.
It's okay. I mean, we are here in Dallas, Texas. Of course, you were up in the Northeast a while ago. So what has been your favorite thing about the United States so far?
Oh, so I went on a tour. So I'm a huge film and TV person, as we know. So I went on a tour and saw all the Sopranos locations in New Jersey, and it has like made my year. Like, because I love the Sopranos, and I got to like see Tony Soprano's house, and I was like, okay, I can die happy now.
Of course. What would you say is your go-to comfort movie?
Oh, that's a tough one.
How about we give you top 3?
Shawshank Redemption, Inglourious Bastards. These are like not home comfort films at all. And probably The Descent, the horror film.
Of course. And of course, we are here at WrestleCon. We have to talk about your amazing gear. I know it's inspired by, but tell the listeners more about the inspiration and the story behind your fabulous set of ring gear here today.
So I designed all of this myself. I drew it all myself. So the inspiration is kind of like very Jeff Hardy-esque. A huge fan of Jeff Hardy, as we all know. So I just kind of designed my gear in mind in that, and I don't know, one day I was watching Goosebumps, and I was like, the slime is really cool, and I was like, I'm going to put slime on my gear, and I just kind of went from there.
Of course, I love it. It's everything green. It really is slime.
My favorite color, by the way, if you can't tell.
Of course. Now, the unfortunate thing is that you can't wear this in a wrestling match, of course, because you will be on a hiatus for a bit. So inform the listeners now on what's going on with you currently.
So about 6 weeks ago, I had a stroke. So in November, I had a head injury, and I went to hospital, and unfortunately, I was turned away and just was told I had a concussion, and okay, so I took a few weeks off and didn't go to the gym, didn't wrestle, and then January, I kind of felt okay. I was getting migraines, but nothing, I thought, oh, I shouldn't wrestle, so I carried on going to the gym, I carried on wrestling, and I think about 6 or 7 weeks ago, I had a weekend of shows, and I think on the Monday night, I started getting this horrendous migraine, and then on the Tuesday it carried on, and I started getting shooting pains down the left side of my face, and my vision went blurry. Do you know when you know something's not right? So my mum was like, go to the hospital, and I was like, oh no, they turned me away last time, and no. She said you need to go and insist on a scan, so I went there, and the crazy thing is when I went, I was like, I'm worried I've got some kind of bleed or blood clot on my brain. I said, something's not right, and they just turned around and was like, you know if you had a blood clot. And I was like, oh, okay. So eventually I was very lucky that a doctor assessed me properly, and I had loads of shooting pains on the left side of my face, but then around my neck. It's a long convoluted. Eventually I got sent for a CT scan. I've been in an A&E for so long. I know this is a long story, I'm sorry, but I feel like people need to hear this because they need to get checked themselves. And the doctor was like, hey, can you come in and see me? And I was like, oh, have you got my results? Are they okay? And he was like, well, I wouldn't be calling you into my office if they were okay. And I was like, oh no. So he sat me down and said, on the CT scan, we found evidence of a stroke. And I was like, mid-20s, and I was like, oh wow, okay. And then they sent me for an MRI, and the MRI showed that I had a blood clot on my lower right cerebellum, and that it had caused a stroke. So they seem to think this head injury in November caused a blood clot, and I've been walking around with a blood clot for over 2.5 months. And because it was untreated, I ended up having a stroke. So my message to people here is, if you have a head injury, especially a sports injury, go and get checked. Don't take no for an answer, because I felt like if I was more insistent in November, they would have scanned me, they would have caught it, and I wouldn't have had a stroke. So I now have no movement. You can see in the camera, I can't move my my left hand. So, but I still managed to make it to America. I got medical clearance, and it was still terrifying to come here. I'm still on loads of medication, but I didn't want to miss America. Like, I got to meet you as well.
I know, after 2 years.
Sorry, but that's essentially it.
So how can the people support you in the meantime while you're away from in-ring action?
Follow me on Instagram. It's Hannah Taylor Wrestling. Follow me on Twitter, Hannah Taylor Pro. I have I'm still putting out merch. I'm still putting out. I'm at 8x10s. Watch my YouTube. I'm on Twitch now. I'm on Twitch, and I'm very good at Twitch as well. Like, I love my video games. So, I've kind of found solace in Twitch because it enables me to speak to fans, and it keeps me busy as well. So.
Of course. Well, Hannah, thank you so much for joining me live from WrestleCon in Dallas, Texas. It's been a pleasure finally getting to see you.
I'm over you so much.
Thank you so much, Hannah.